Okay, so you've got that really important drawing to do today. Yes, I must get on with it. Right, I'll put the kettle on first. Oh, that's the coffee's finished. Right. I need to hoover the cat. I need to put some washing on. I need to. I need to wash my beard. It looks terrible today. I'll take Mr. Miro for a walk. I know. You would rather do anything than do that. Sit down and just do the drawing. But later on, when you get back from work or from whatever you've been doing, you're gonna think, I wish I just had an hour to sit and do some doodling, do some drawing. So today is about a kick to action. If you've got a drawing that you want to do, if you've got something that you need to finish, if you just want to sit and get some pens and doodle around and draw some stuff, well, get your pen, get your paper, and do some doodling with me. I'm going to do one of my drawings, and I've been sitting here the same. I've already had a cup of coffee, and I haven't started yet. So get your pen, get your paper, and come and do some doodling with me. Go on. Okay, so today I've got another couple of panels to do for the comic, and on some of the drawings that have a little bit more feeling to it, I like to do them a little bit bigger. Yes, I shouldn't. Yes, I should keep them small, and I should do all the drawings nice and small, but sometimes I just kind of get into this feeling that I need to make some of the important, or as I see the important drawings, a little bit more pretty. Okay? And you can argue black and blue and pink and green about whatever, but it works for me. Okay, so sometimes I do the comic strip, and then sometimes I take a panel and I make it big. And it's an old habit from back in the Disney days, when everything is so detailed and so pretty and precise, and today I am drawing my panda comic, and I'm using a brush pen, not the usual dip pen, but it gives a different style and a different approach to the comic, and I do love it. I do love the fact that it kind of slows down my mind a little bit. It does kind of give me time to kind of think about the drawing, which is, in most cases, I really try not to. I really try not to get so sucked in with details and such. I do like to feel the drawing more than I do like to kind of get absorbed by it. But when I did the comic, the panda comic, back in the days of working in animation, then every drawing was a 2-hour session, sitting there drawing so much detail to absolute perfection, to go to a director who'd say, no, I don't like the eyes, redo the eyes. Oh, that arm as well. What have you done with the hand? That's really, redraw the hand. And go back and back and back again. And I would get into this way of working that I would just love to sit and relax my mind. And I would do these long, elaborate kind of drawings. And today, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm doing some long, elaborate drawing of the panda on the back of a turtle. Tortoise. I should say tortoise. If I say turtle, and BMO will jump on me and say, turtles have fins. So, yes, so it's one of those. I've talked about this before on some of the earlier videos, but it is going back to an earlier edition of me, back in the animation days when I would spend hours and hours and hours doing drawings with ridiculous amounts of detail, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it, and you know, with every style of drawing and with every new project, you should indeed kind of get to the point where you're changing your style and exploring different pens and different mediums. You know, I did love getting into oil painting for a while. I absolutely loved it, but my patience was just really working against me. It was like, right, I've been on this painting for 4 hours. Is it not finished yet? You know, and I would kind of torture myself with it. Now, the one lovely thing I do like about having this brush pen is it does dry almost immediately. Whereas I'm usually waiting hours for my Indian ink to dry. I have as you know, I'm not really the most patient of people, and I do kind of get very flustered by ink not drying, or watercolor paints not drying. So this is quite refreshing in a way, that the ink is kind of like down and dried, you know. Quite a luxury. And I do love my characters. I do love drawing this character particularly. I have drawn him for the last couple of years, and he has appeared in quite a few books. Comic books and kids books. So he's quite an important character to me. Quite an important. And he has a very, very, very different character to anything I've done before, which makes it particularly special. And the style is a little bit more of a thick and thin, which again, this kind of brush technique does support it in a way. It's like, you know, I bought these pens back when I was at Disney. I saw one of the layout people using this, one of the people that draw all the backgrounds, and they would sketch things out with these kind of brush pens, and I was like, oh my god, they look fun. And of course, once you've had a brush pen, they do kind of become addictive. Did you notice my beautiful Funki Doodler shirt today? How cool is that? So, yes, it became an addiction of... I bought, I think, about 12 of them originally. I bought 1 or 2, and then I just loved them. But then the older ones of these, you got a kind of fill inside, like a spongy fill, a piece of felt or whatever, and it is that long. So I used to re-soak these, and they lasted for years and years and years and years. I've got some of the brushes back from 1995 when I first bought these, and in a later batch I went back and I bought a whole box of them. I don't know, I probably bought about 30 of them in one big batch. And when I refilled, when I tried to rejuvenate some of the inks, the actual thing is like that inside. The pen is like that big, and then the refill in it was like about that big. Whatever happened to that? It was ridiculous. So a lot of the newer ones just died, basically. Whereas the old ones remained beautiful. I guess that's a sign of the times, isn't it? A lot of the older things are in better quality. In fact, I would even probably go as far to say with my iPad. I've got my older iPad and I've got a new iPad. And the older iPad is absolutely fantastic. And it is always solid and it's always... And the new one is such a pain in the butt. It takes twice as long to charge it up when you would think since it's the new one. In fact, when I bought that new iPad, I bought it within about a month. It had just frozen. It just died. Maybe I was kind of like overworking it. But at the same time, the older one has been with me all these years, however many years I've had this old thing. It's still fantastic and it's still amazing and it still works beautifully. So, there's a lesson on if you want to buy an iPad, I'd buy an older one. I really would. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? I'm always constantly pleased. I'm sure there's a better word for pleased. But when I look at my my poses of the panda, I always have this glow. This like little magical glow inside me. I know that I've drawn it. Yes, I know. And you shouldn't get too attached to your own artwork. And I really try not to. But with the panda, I've always had this soft spot for him. I've always loved drawing the panda. Ever since the original concept, basically, I have fallen in love with this little creature. And we should fall in love with our own ideas and our stories and our whatever. We should have an inner passion for them. And I feel if you have this inner love for these characters, then maybe the people that look at it will have this kind of feeling of the extra love that you put into it, As I said, I've been drawing the panda for quite a few years now, and I still love it. I still enjoy it every time I sit down to do him. And I love writing for him as well. He's this very kind of... He has this childish view of the world, and I love it. I love it sometimes I'll sit down to think and I'll kind of think of something. I'll just think about, wonder how cheese is made. And then I'll start thinking, I wonder what the panda would think. Maybe somebody mentions a cheese plant or something, and he goes, that's where cheese comes from. I always wondered. I might grow some cheese or something like that, And I love that story. I'm going to draw that up. And you get a pen and you start drawing, and the whole love and excitement from his view of life. And I should, at this point, promote my book, The Funki Doodler. Not the Funki Doodler, it's the Clunkin' and Clankin', and it is one of the recent books of all the panda little funny views of life. It is on Amazon. You can go and get yourself one today. So there you are. That's today's plug. I've been trying to promote my stuff a little bit better, and I'm trying to leave things around to kind of remind me to do so, as I am quite ridiculously bad at promoting my own books of knowledge. And he is sitting on this rather large tortoise. He's a tortoise. That's right. And he's called Mr. House, or House. In most cases, he's called House. And basically because he carries his house on his back. Simple as that. And today's kind of joke is that he wants to take life a little bit slower, and he's slowing down his life by sitting on the tortoise, the tortoise. Yeah. And the tortoise is kind of like showing him a slower way of life. And of course, he would be there with his umbrella in case of the weather. And probably a cheesecake. I should have put a cheesecake in his hand, because he's always got this theory of life that everything revolves around a cheesecake. You know. If you could wish for one thing, what would it be? A cheesecake? No. A double cheesecake. Something like that. And he has this kind of nemesis, which is the goose, who's this kind of know-all kind of creature of the forest that kind of is always trying to laugh at him and laugh at his ways, and you get those people in life that always kind of know something better. They always kind of know, well, you should do this, or oh, if you want to fix that, you got to do this. And he has this kind of phrase that every time he tricks the panda into something, it's kind of like, it's like shooting fish in a barrel, this type of. And he kind of has this kind of strut, and he's got a hat like mine too, and he kind of turns up and is like, hey kid, what you up to? And he gets very, very frustrated by this rather childish panda who's kind of has this simplified view of life that is the bane of his life, really. What's the difference between a goose and a duck? Well, yeah, he kind of asks those type of childish questions, So, QQ is the name of the duck, QQ. And there used to be, while I was working on it, my daughter used to have this. It was like a TikTok or something like that, where you send messages, and it was called QQ. And at the time, I was looking for a name for the goose, and I couldn't think of anything clever. And my daughter kept saying this QQ, QQ, QQ. And there you go. So that's where the name came from. In fact, it's still quite well used in China and other such places. QQ messaging. And it's a delightfully relaxing way to draw. I did get very frustrated for years about the fact that, like, working in the Disney studios and working on these great feature films and whatever such, was like everything was so slow and so precise. But some days I just kind of fall back into it, and I could sit here and I could draw the panda. You see how long it's taken me just to do one panel. One panel. What are you doing, Kieron? Are you crazy? Well, probably. Probably. Are you crazy? But the enjoyment, and that's the magical word for doing any kind of art of any sort. This enjoyment of doing the process of doing a drawing, working out a sketch. And yes, this did have a blue sketch underneath. On this, it did have an under sketch or an underworking, if for those who are curious. And yes, I don't like to do it, but I do find that also when I'm working on something like the comic, I do find that because it's a slower pace, then my brain kind of slows down also. So if you're drawing a toenail, you spend 5 minutes drawing a toenail, and your brain forgets about the rest of the drawing. When I'm drawing quick, my brain is active and saying, draw it with two swords, draw it with draw it sitting in an airplane. Okay, and I'm kind of listening to my brain talking as I'm doing it. Whereas doing it this slow, I'm working on the foot at the moment. So forget about the rest of the drawing, So, yes, there is a huge difference in my style when I'm doing these type of drawings. And in most cases, I don't really like to draw very slow and very careful. But when I'm working on the panda, it's a different world. It's a different me. It's a different brain. It's just everything. Like at the moment, my brain is so relaxed. It's still drinking hot chocolate. And that's a beautiful environment to be in, also. And it does also kind of make me feel like this is kind of like my yoga for today. It's kind of like my relaxing moments are here with you. Yes, still with you. And it is absolutely beautiful. The relaxing feeling from it. Let's give him a little tail or some sort. But I'm hoping also that this is a very nice kind of approach for everybody to kind of see me drawing in a different way, in a different approach, and to show you that drawing of all styles and all approaches is all beautiful, and you have to get in there and embrace whatever style, whatever feeling you have got about art. Do it for you. And I've tried very, very, very hard to kind of get people to draw. And I hope that for those people that are a little bit slower with their drawings, I hope this is an exciting approach. I hope this way of kind of, why not start a comic? Why not start your own comic? Why not sit and draw a comic about your morning? Just that, You might draw about how you thought about breakfast today. How long it took you to make breakfast, and all the things that happened that stopped you having breakfast, or whatever happened to you today. I'm sure something must have happened. Do you do gardening? Did you take your dog on a walk and something funny happened? You could do a whole comic strip on just walking your dog, the stories of walking your dog. So this is house, and he's carrying the panda. And of course he's doing it in a very happy way. It's nothing. He's obviously very happy to do it. He's a very happy character in the story. And I would really recommend about just switching off all your devices. Really. Switch them all off today. Just turn everything off. You don't need any outside information. You don't need any inspiration. You have everything in your beautiful, beautiful brain. Just start drawing. Don't even think about what you want to draw. Just sit and start moving the pen, and something will appear in front of you. You will just start drawing something. And there he is. And that basically is my drawing. And I'm very pleased with that. I will do the background on a separate level because I want to work through and make it. I know I should just do it, but I want to go through and do it consistent across from all the different panels. But that is my lovely drawing today. And I really would like to I'd really like to thank you for being here today, and thank you for sharing your time with me today. On this wonderful drawing. Slow down your life. Slow things down. Take it easy. That's what it's the whole message about today's drawing is. Slow down your life. Slow it down. Enjoy your life. Enjoy the processes. Go and get a sketchbook. Do some drawing today. Okay? So, thank you very much for being here. And thank you for watching. And thank you for all the support. It is greatly appreciated. Go and do some drawing. Go on. Have some fun today, okay? And I'll see you back here very soon. Bye-bye.